Welcome to the Take It Personal show. I have my really good friend here, Gino, and I'm really happy to say welcome to the 6th episode of the Take It Personal show. And I was at the cigar bar last week, hanging out, and I haven't seen Gino in a while. Every time I see him, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I've known him for a very long time.
You're too kind.
Too kind. I've known Gino for about 5-6 years, and always knew he was one of the most interesting men I've ever met in my life. And like that TV show with the most interesting man in the world? I think of Gino.
Okay.
Depends on the
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. Fuck it. Whatever.
But again, before we start with anything, I want to say thank you to everyone that's subscribing. Thank you for the likes. Subscribe to us. We are moving, and this is great. And I'm really happy. This is my second live video. It's actually, it's like Portal, like I'm moving. It's movable.
Oh, we're live.
We're live.
I love it. What's up, guys?
This is
so
great.
I can't fuck up.
You can't fuck up now.
I can't fuck up.
And I thought, what's a better way to have a podcast than to have cigars and guns?
It's a perfect mix. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, so you got cigars, guns. I'm going to ignore the scotch over here.
Scotch is good. Scotch is really good.
It is good. It is good. It makes everything go down a little easier.
Yeah, and thank you so much for having me here and at your spot. And tell me a little bit about this place. I know you've been down here for a while. You also have a cigar spot up in Alabama. And just tell everyone about what are you doing here? We got all these cool guns.
Yeah, this is an interesting place. It's we do a lot of stuff here. So primarily, Centurion is a defense contractor. We focus on consulting, logistics, and training for military, law enforcement, and private military companies. And COVID really put a huge damper on a lot of our stuff. Training went down just because of large groups of people, ammunition scare, that whole thing, everybody can't get ammo, so that really put a big damper on a lot of the stuff we were doing. So I said, we got licenses to sell guns, might as well do it. So I kind of consolidated a few things. I had my office in Boynton Beach, and I had a warehouse in Wellington, and everything had its purpose. And I decided, I need to find one place where I can kind of put everything all in one. So we got this place, and this is our, they can't see the thing, but we got offices over here, and a bathroom, we got a warehouse in the back, we got a machine shop back there, and some fun toys to make guns and pretty much make whatever.
Yeah, you have a really cool fucking lounge back there.
You
said you had a lounge. It's funny because it's probably like a little, a little thing.
Everybody says that. They don't realize that how serious we take the lounge.
It's a dope spot.
Yeah, so obviously we're sitting in the gun section. So we're not really open to the public generally. We're by appointment only, just because I hate retail and I don't want to deal with that. I hate feeling like a salesman, so this kind of just negates it a little bit, that feeling. Still selling shit, but so we kind of consolidated everything, and then I just kind of put all the things that I like in one area, and I feel like people can kind of vibe with that. They can see, all right, you come in here, we got got an espresso machine, we got a cigar lounge inside, we got an Xbox in the back, we got guns, and we actually do get some work done here a little bit, and we can just pretty much make whatever you can imagine. We got 3D printers, CNC machines, lathes, you name it, in the back. So it's just kind of a man's playground, That's the whole setup here.
You can curse, by the way.
Oh, don't worry, I wasn't going to ask. It's going to happen.
With all the guns and cigars, scotch, you gotta be fucking cursing.
Listen, hopefully they're not offended.
No, not at all. Who gives a fuck?
We wanted to take it personal.
Take it fucking personal, and it's a pleasure because I've known you for a long time, and to have you on, and someone who I think we share a lot of the same values.
I'm sure.
And we grew up in 2 different parts of the world, I think, we grew up a little differently, but we still have the same mindset on a lot of things. And I also want to go into, what made you want to do this?
It's a loaded question. I'll try not to take it personal. I'm kidding. A lot of things, really. It was mostly like work. So I started off working in security, and kind of just the bullshit security circuit. And I ended up getting a job with this private intelligence company. My buddy worked there. And I kind of worked my way up through the ranks of that. It started off with, unarmed stuff, and then obviously guns came into play for obvious reasons. And it just kind of became more and more of a thing, and I'm more focused on firearms and training and stuff like that. And naturally, since I'm using them professionally, I was like, all right, I can start teaching people how to do that.
Yeah.
And then I started going, all right, how can I make some more money? I was realizing a lot of these gigs we were on and things we were doing, these contracts we're fulfilling, there was so many moving parts. There was like, you buy the guns from this company, you'd buy the gear from this company, you'd get the training from this company, and this person would win there's a bunch of stuff. I'm like, I already know all this stuff. I've been doing this for so long, decent amount of time. There's a lot more people with more experience, but I was like, there's no reason I can't provide all this stuff. And instead of them dealing with a salesman, they have an actual professional end user. So
you are a professional end user as well.
Yeah. It's what I shoot for a living, but now it's not so much. I'm a fat retired guy that sells guns and teaches people how to shoot. But
retired life.
Not really retired. When I say retired from cool things. Kind of just sit around and smoke cigars and sell guns and teach people how to shoot them every now and then. But it kind of built up from there. I kind of tried to just be as well-rounded as possible in my industry. So naturally, the defense industry, guns, so that was one aspect of it. So consulting is another big thing, actual protective services and staffing and stuff like that. So we do a lot of that stuff.
That's really cool.
But I lost track of that question. But
back to like
what got into the guns?
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, it's work and I enjoy it. Obviously, I love guns, but it's not like I'm definitely not a gun nut. I know it sounds ridiculous because I have them surrounded by a bunch of
You're not a gun
firearms.
nut. It's funny.
I'm not, and I generally don't get along with crazy gun people or like collectors that have a million guns. I
remember that happened once. I was with you, and someone was like bringing up guns. You're like, please, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. Leave me alone. I don't know.
It's the best thing and worst thing because I love talking about guns. I have no problem. Obviously, it's my profession, so I can talk about it for a long time. But it depends on how I'm talking about it, and how it gets. Because unfortunately, I'm naturally a lot of people's gun guy. If they don't know about guns, they're like, oh, my friend likes guns, you like guns, you guys should talk. And then I'm like, oh, fuck you. I'm like, oh, shit. And this is, that's not the best, what do you mean the best gun? There is no best gun. Like, it gets pretty hectic, but I don't collect firearms. I have guns for very specific purposes.
Yeah.
I train with them. I like to be good, proficient with them.
Yeah.
I'd rather have one gun with a bunch of ammo and a lot of training versus 100 guns and I shoot one of them every now and then. I hate when people do that.
That makes way more sense.
Gun snobby guy, I guess.
Yeah, and like going to what you're saying also that like I know you have a blog that you put up.
Yeah, Integrated Skills Group.
Integrated Skills Group, yes. And I remember when you first launched that, I think it was like 2-3 years.
Yeah, kind of like we made it actually a real thing.
Yeah.
After like I want to say 3 years ago. I think it was around 3 years ago. Me and my partner Aaron, we met working together. And we kind of just started off as like a private Facebook group, and as just us bitching about industry stuff. And then naturally, since we're the line of work we're in, we get all the dumb questions and stuff. I wouldn't say dumb questions, ignorant questions about our industry or just guns in general or anything, self-defense, survival. I mean, 4x4 stuff, like everything.
Yeah.
And so we started taking all these concepts and writing long-form articles. And it was literally just because we're fucking so lazy and hate repeating ourselves. So if someone had a question, it was like, I really, what's the best carry gun? And I'm like, okay, I can't tell you what the best carry gun is. What the best thing for you is. So we have I said, so I have an article for that. So we started writing these articles, and it was just us either bitching about gun myths, or helping people pack their survival bag, or how to survive in the wilderness, how to make your own water filter, like a bunch of stuff like that. Anything. It's not just guns. It's actually mostly the soft skills versus the hard skills. The thinking man's, we call it the thinking man's game, this stuff. And we just started putting all these articles together and creating this big, we probably have close to 400 articles. And they're long. Detailed. You have to be very interested in the topic. We don't get a lot of people that will sit and read through the whole thing, but it's a good collection. If you want to learn how to be self-sufficient, you want to be just essentially there's nothing wrong with being a jack of all trades, but if you want to be a jack of all trades and just self-sufficiency, that's where you start.
And I think, if I'm correct, I listened to the first two podcasts, I tried really hard. I remember like when you first put it out, I saw one of the articles. I was like driving, trying to read it. I was like, no, I got to pull over.
It's not a topical, it's not a topical setup for reading. No. Even the podcast. Our podcast is very like structured, and
it's very.
We're trying to make it. Yeah, we're trying to make it a little bit more loose. We're working on that, but it is what it is.
It's also cool because I know you guys do like different ways to deal with emergencies, anything from like a low-level emergency to like high-level emergency, and like all that stuff. And I think
collapse society, which everybody wants to talk about nowadays. Someone watches The Walking Dead, and they're like, "We'll explain to you why half of that's retarded."
Especially with how the government is and the whole, everything happening in the world. Not too much politics. Doesn't matter whose side we're on, but more of the sense of like the urgency of like, what if everything fucking falls apart?
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be everybody, like, the majority of people that come to our website, that's the sparking factor of it, is just like, what apocalypse? Or like, what if everything's falling apart? But I'm hoping with our website, it can, with understanding emergencies and our kind of like our pillars of concepts, people can read and understand and say, look, of course this is going to make you a warlord badass when the world melts down, if it does. I don't think it's going to, but it's just small things, just like hurricanes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in Florida. There's fucking hurricanes, dude. I mean, it sucks. A lot of people, Floridians are pretty damn good at it, but I mean, we throw parties, when hurricanes come, it's kind of heinous. I remember that when I moved back. When I moved back from up north, and people are like, "Want to have a hurricane party?" I'm like, "You're fucking nuts." That's great. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good. But I mean, it's being able to understand the big emergencies really prepares you for just small things, and you're really just not worried about shit. And that's better prepared.
And it's better to feel more comfortable and able to handle certain situations like that.
Exactly. And people think doomsday preppers. It's not that.
No, it's not that. And I think, now it's like anytime I talk to anybody and they're like, oh, the whole world's going to end, the economy's going to collapse, I need to get mad guns. In my head, the first thing I ask is like, yeah, that would be cool, but I don't think having all those guns are really going to be helpful if you can't do anything else.
It's 90% this.
It's 90%. Yeah, I agree with you, 100%.
It's 100% that. I mean, no, sorry. 90% that. 100% agree. But yeah, I mean, that's what it is. What it is. We got to get up stockpiles of ammo and guns, and I'm like, look, dude, you can stockpile that up, but I'll tell you what, all you're doing is collecting enough shit for the toughest guy in the neighborhood to fucking take home. Because he's gonna rob your ass with one gun and one magazine.
Because you don't have the other magazine.
You don't build a community. You don't have things prepped. I mean, there's a lot of shit you got to do.
And I think it's like a really interesting thing, especially with like what's going on now. I think it's like something that people like. What's something that you would tell someone to do like that is not either too privy on dealing with emergencies like that, even if it's a low level or a high level, something in the middle that someone can do to maybe be better at.
What, to handle it better?
Yeah, handle anything better. Something they can practice or do.
I mean, I don't want to like roundabout answer your question, but like the best way to handle an emergency is to essentially educate yourself on emergencies. Yeah. So you're not surprised as much, because that's the biggest thing. Surprise is the thing that gets you scared and gets you to make bad decisions, and not kind of sit back and look at it from a calm standpoint. Yeah. People start panicking, they do things last minute. That's a problem. Yeah. We don't tell people to doomsday prep and have a fucking dry goods and start canning. But we tell people, hey, here's a couple things to keep in mind. Have some, have enough water, have a way to purify water, whatever it is, have enough food. If you for some reason can't go to the grocery store, it's sold out or closed or whatever, we just saw that during fucking COVID. You couldn't get toilet paper. People don't realize dysentery kills more people than guns. So, I mean, like, there's a lot of little things. So I don't have a specific answer to that. I just have kind of, the more you learn about handling, these emergencies by educating yourself of what has happened, you look at failed states, you look at, previous emergencies, it helps you kind of understand what to expect. Yeah. And go from then you can start learning the skills needed to handle that kind of stuff by going to integrated skills group.
And I think what I'll make sure when I do post this on Apple, on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on fucking YouTube as well now. And
I'll see how long that lasts, because they take it personal.
They take everything fucking personal.
I'm like blacklisted on YouTube and everything. It's great. I can't even do Google ads.
Really?
Dude, I got everything. The cigar bar. So Google doesn't like tobacco, so I can't advertise Google, fucking Ask Jeeves, whatever it is. They don't want it. No tobacco advertising. I can't do paid advertising. It has to be I have to get people to leave reviews and all that kind of shit. Same thing with here. Before we even started selling guns to the general public, we were just specifically only dealing with military and law enforcement. I couldn't advertise anything, which generally it doesn't really help that much in that business, but because I'm not dealing with the general public, but still, it's fucking ridiculous, man. It sucks. YouTube is getting so bad. It sucks, and I love YouTube. I love, I'm on it all the fucking time, but I'm slowly starting to lose shit that I want to watch because these people are not monetized. They lose their monetization.
Yeah, people can't support it and stuff like that.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
And it's just the cancel culture, and just how you got to be very careful on things you got to say, and just hurting people's feelings.
It's real sad. It's real sad.
But it's more of, I think, the integrated skills group, I think, is really cool for anyone, even if you have a military background or you're brand new. It's something to look into.
We have everything too, by the way. Also, obviously a lot of the stuff we do is more focused on people with not focused. It's definitely not focused, but it is more attractive to people that were either in the military or like that kind of stuff, or shooting sports. But I mean, our contributors, the people, it's made up from ex-military guys to ex-spies. We got master gardeners in there, pilots, master gardeners. We actually have a master gardener, doctorate in growing things. That shit's important. We have professional drivers, like off-road security drivers, off-road drivers, guys that do 4x4 racing. We do 4x4 racing. Like pretty much everything. Yeah. You know, if we go over cooking, you name it. It's a community of people, you know, wanting to be just better people.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The other question I wanted to ask you that I asked a friend of mine who's big into guns and big into everything. I was like, can you think of something? Because I was like running around all day today. Mm-hmm. He said, why don't you ask him why the AR is the most versatile weapon at anyone's disposal?
Okay.
Is that a
great question?
Is that a good question?
Yeah. No,
I think that's a good question.
Great question. ARs are awesome. So, like,
I know there's like a big thing seeing people shooting ARs. We're not gonna get to that fucking debate. But more of the sense.
So, ARs are great for so many reasons. I don't want to do the AR injustice by not naming all of them, but I'll try to do my best. ARs are great because, one, they're lightweight. So there's one right here. This is a standard 16-inch AR-15, right? So it's a 16-inch barrel. It holds 30 rounds. So you have a lot of ammunition capacity. You have a really lightweight gun, which is huge if you ever carry guns for either a living or hunting, whatever it is. You don't want to be lugging around this thing. They have no recoil. They're insanely easy to shoot. They're incredibly modular. So, I mean, you could be disabled and not have a hand here, and you need to like create an attachment. You don't need to create it. Someone has it. Someone has like a fucking bionic arm attachment to it. Like everything is made for AR-15s. It's crazy. You can get every type of add-on and do whatever you want. It's like adult Legos. Yeah. Deadly Legos, but you know. So let's be real. I mean, you know, we know what they do. But they're incredibly easy to use, and they're incredibly fun to shoot. They're comfortable, and they're also not that expensive for what they are. So they're just an all-around good gun. There's a lot of good guns, and everything has their own niche. Yeah. But as far as just generally, ARs are killer. They're great. Yeah. Killer in many ways.
It's funny because like I'm from New York, so the only way I was
fucking ARs.
No, we have ARs. We have handguns. I remember like the only way I was ever able to get a gun is if I went to the projects and got a fake gun. I remember buying a gun once, and it just didn't work.
Oh yeah,
and because like you can't get a normal gun in like.
No, you gotta buy it off the street. You need to get something that's either fake or real that just doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, or it has something on it you don't want to have on it.
Yeah, very true. Very, very true.
Those are even more worse. But the cool thing is like since I moved down to Florida, like I never noticed the gun culture down here.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's crazy.
I don't understand people that have fucking road rage in Florida. Everyone has a gun. Don't be stupid.
I remember.
Let's calm down, champ.
Everyone has a gun in their car in Florida.
Everybody. On them or in the car or both?
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy because like I just never thought like it was that. Like to me, the mentality I grew up with in New York, it was just like, oh, guns are crazy or military, like in the military or something like.
I get it, yeah.
But nowadays but I think it's a beautiful thing also that like now it's more attainable. Not you know what I mean by that. But like it's more out there and there's more information on it. And
it's the most important thing, man.
It's the information.
People, I meet people all the time that are anti-gun, and I have no problem with somebody being anti-gun. Go for it. Do whatever you want. Hate them, be scared of them, whatever you want. 99% of the time, actually not 100. I have never met anybody that was anti-gun that after I spoke with them for a little while, they kind of loosened up. And it's just because they didn't really understand it, and it was scary. And I get it. It is absolutely scary. Mm-hmm. They might not understand that these are a lot of fun to just go out and shoot with your friends or compete. You know, it's a high level competing. A lot of sporting purpose. They also kill things. Yeah, they're really good at that. It's kind of what they're designed for. But I mean, well, not designed for, but originally, it's really just usually a lack of knowledge on the firearms. Yeah, and most people are they come around to it. Funny quick story. Yeah. So my partner Matt, he's an attorney. He specializes in firearms law, and he's on Fox and Friends, and he's on the news pretty regularly, arguing on behalf of firearms rights. And I get a call from him one day, and he says, "Hey, I'm getting interviewed by the French, by like the CNN of France." Like, I don't know I forgot what it was. It was like F1 News or something, whatever it was. Yeah. And they were doing a thing on ghost guns, 3D printed guns and all that jazz. Oh, wow. I don't know if you noticed when you came in, we have 3D printers all over the place. So we use them for prototyping. So they chose him, which was a horrible idea because I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to say, these things are scary, they kill all these people, blah, 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 and he's going to just wreck them.
Yeah.
So, or give them nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is great. You want to help out? I'm like, fuck yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So we go to, he agrees. I don't want to say we because I didn't set up anything, but he gets them to agree. Say, look, I'll do this if you guys come to the range with us and shoot machine guns.
Huh.
And they're like, what? No, we're not shooting machine guns. No, we're licensed. Don't worry. It's totally legit. You can come out to the range with us, shoot machine guns. We can even talk about them there. And he's like, I even have the first machine gun ever made, and it's actually made by the French.
Huh.
It's called the show shop. So they agree, which is a terrible idea because they wanted to make us look crazy and all that stuff. He does an amazing interview, and they interviewed me for like a minute, and obviously we dodge all the fucking questions. They make it sound like we're crazy, killers.
Yeah.
3D printing guns in their garage, and it finally came time to, all right, they want to. They're going to shoot now. It's like we told them you have to shoot before you leave.
Yeah.
These guys, words cannot describe how much they hated firearms. Like you can tell just with their line of questioning. We had them rip machine guns, and it's impossible to shoot a machine gun and not just have the biggest shit-eating grin on your face, even if you're scared. Like we had a 104-pound lady, little French lady. She said, "Oh my God, this is amazing. It is horrifying, but I love it." And I'm like, "That's great." She goes, "Turn off the camera." Like, we recorded it though, so we have evidence of it. Yeah, and then we had the camera guy sitting there fucking shooting. It was hilarious, and everyone always comes around, always.
So if anyone's anti-gun, they should shoot an AK.
I think. I mean, it's a little aggressive.
Or an AR.
And you know what? I like to start people off with 22s, but I mean, if you feel, I mean, or a machine gun. We'll give them a Belfast machine gun. We got a grenade launcher down here. We'll give them that. But
is that a flamethrower up there?
That is a flamethrower. Yeah, that is a blast.
That looks fucking cool.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. It goes about 40 yards with the correct fuel mixture. That was a quite intoxicated purchase. And then it turned into, hey, this thing's really fucking cool. I don't regret this anymore, and we need a distribution account with you guys.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So if I ever need a fucking flamethrower, I know.
There's no federal regulations on flamethrowers.
I heard that.
It's incredible.
That's really fucking cool.
At first, I was like, that's a little irresponsible. But then again, I looked it up, and I'm like, there's never been a crime ever committed by a flamethrower. It'd be a pretty cool one, but it's pretty intense. But no one's ever done it. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Another cool thing is I know smoking cigars.
Oh.
And it's funny. That's how I met you.
That's how we met.
A long time ago, and I got into cigars when I came down here, and it's like the one thing that I just love doing, and I think it's a fun. It's just it brings people together.
You can you can go to any cigar lounge, and you can have the local high school janitor sitting next to vice president.
Yeah.
It's an equalizer. It really is for conversation.
It is.
Anybody can go in. Anyone can sit down. Doesn't matter if you're smoking $1 cigar or a $50 cigar.
You're smoking a cigar.
You're smoking a cigar, and you're going to sit down. And I travel the world, and I travel the United States still now. Everywhere I go, there's two things I do after I land. I check into my hotel. Before I even go to the hotel, I find the nearest cigar lounge, and I make sure I go there if I have time. But it's the best. I've met the best people at cigar bars.
And it probably helps a lot with networking and meeting.
It's a wonderful networking thing. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
But it's gotten to the point. Like I've done a lot of networking now. It got to the point now. I don't want to go to a lot of places. Like I don't really want to go to a bar. If I go to a new town, first place I go to is a cigar lounge. I don't want to go to a bar. I want to go. Like I'll eventually wander my way to a bar, a really nice restaurant, obviously later.
Yeah.
But I mean, I pretty much end up at the cigar bar, and I always anywhere I go in that city, I always meet the best people in the city. It's great.
At the cigar bar.
At the cigar bar.
It's so cool.
It really is, and it's just like a little. No matter where I am, I could be at the cigar bar, or I could be in the middle of shitholesville, right?
Yeah.
And if I light up a cigar, what I'm doing might suck. It makes it. Sometimes it makes it amazing, but other times it just makes it a little bit better. I'm like, you know what? It's my little getaway.
Yeah. It's like meditation. It's like
meditation, but while I'm doing things, I can do it, and
exactly.
I can smoke and do that thing, and it just makes it a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's like it's a little less monotonous.
Yeah, you're right. And the thing is, like, nowadays, it's like my form of, if I want to get away from all the bullshit, it's a safe space. It's a safe place and a environment where just there's no stress. I've never went to a cigar bar and got into a fight.
No, it doesn't happen.
Never happened.
It doesn't happen. I mean, I've seen it happen, but it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It's very rare. It never happens. You can go to a cigar bar and you can sit there and talk shit with you can sit there and bust balls.
Yeah.
Or you can sit there and just talk bullshit to every single person in the room and just talk about whatever you want. Or you can sit in the corner and not say a goddamn word to anybody. Nobody gives a shit.
No.
Like, oh, the guy's quiet, he's relaxing, he had a long day.
Leave him.
Nobody gives a shit. You can go do fucking, you can sit there and do, kettlebell swings. Nobody gives a shit. Go for it. They'll be like, that's a little weird, but
it's okay.
he's at the cigar bar, go for it. Have fun. You do you. Live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just such a great thing. It's something that I love. All my friends make fun of it. It's like, I'll go to the cigar bar by myself and just like go hang out.
And that's, you're never going by yourself. It doesn't matter.
Always see somebody.
Even if you'll either see somebody you know if you go to the cigar bars in the area, or you'll meet a new friend. You always do.
Yeah, every time.
You might meet a couple fucking weirdos.
Even the bartender.
They're hilarious.
There's always a girl there.
Oh, there's always a girl getting harassed by some fucking old guy. A lot of fun.
Yeah, poor girl.
Yeah, it's okay. You'll whiten out your way into that one real quick. Hey, leave her alone. You're a champ. Free drink.
And it's funny, because when I first met you, anytime I went to a cigar bar, you always had the music playing.
I kind of hijacked the music.
You always hijack the music. You always have Jay-Z on.
I did have Jay-Z on.
And I walked in here and Biggie was playing. I felt very at home. I felt like I was in the right place.
You'd laugh at my musical selection for the day here. It starts off with classical.
That's a good morning.
I start off with some Chopin, some Schubert, some old classical piano composers.
Yeah.
And then it slowly kind of gets, I'll go into like jazz. Once we hit lunchtime, depending on my mood or how shitty the day is or whatever I have to do, I'll get up to like house music. I'll do that. Once we hit maybe 3 or 4, then East Coast old school rap's coming on.
Hell yeah.
That's happening. And then, then I'll just fucking start playing trap music. I don't give a shit.
I
blast Kodak. My neighbors don't like it, but fuck them. What are they gonna do?
I went up to New York. I had Kodak Black on, and my friend was in the car, and she's like, "Do you listen to this?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm Floridian now. I've been down here for like 6 years.
Absolutely.
I love it. I listen to Moneybagg Yo. I have not stopped.
Key Glock. I'm on Key Glock right now. Right? Let's go. Like I'm ready to go.
I love it.
It's fucking heinous, some of the shit they're saying.
But
I laugh my ass off. It's great.
It's fun, and it's like
you can't take it too serious.
You can't take it too serious. You can't take yourself too serious. You can't take that too serious.
It's even funnier when whoever's like rapping takes it serious. They take it serious, and I'm just laughing my ass off. It's like, this guy means business.
And the thing is,
okay.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I listen to music not just for the lyrics. I listen for the whole thing together, like the feeling it gives.
Absolutely.
That's the whole point. That's the most, like, that's been the common denominator for music over the years. Is how it makes you feel.
Absolutely.
And I think, like, I'll be in my car listening to Moneybagg Yo. You're thinking I'm a fucking gangster and fucking selling drugs.
I'm trapping at that time.
I'm trapping at that time.
I'm trapping in my mind right now.
Just wait, I'll pull up somewhere, someone told me they got a key. I'm gonna make the move.
Yeah, it's happening. Don't stop me.
Moneybagg Yo said I should do it. I'm gonna go do
it. You gotta secure the bag, all right?
You gotta get it no matter what.
Don't judge it.
No, not at all. You're a big Hove fan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I appreciate. Anyone that knows me knows I hate Nas.
I nothing it.
Yeah, it's just.
I'm indifferent.
I just had.
I like some Nas songs. I wouldn't be able to tell you his whole discography. I'm terrible with that. Like we talked.
Yeah, we talked about.
I'm terrible with that. I have, I love hip hop. I love rap. I listen to it all the time. Mm-hmm. But I specifically go for what we just talked about. The how it makes you feel. I could give a flying fuck what album it was on. Like people are like, man, that was a great album. I respect that you know that album. I got no fucking idea. I don't give a shit. I don't care what the song name is. I just save it and I play it up later.
And like
that's it. Feeling.
So
mood.
It's the mood.
It's the mood. That's it.
It's the mood. And I think that's important also because it depends on the mood for why you should listen to the songs that you're listening to.
Mm-hmm.
And like when it comes to a lot of hip hop today, is a lot of people hate a lot of it, but it's fucking catchy. There's a lot of like it's like I was very detached from it because I'm very old school. I listen to a lot of old school rap.
Yeah.
And then like for like the last 3 years, I've been listening to mad Florida music, mad trap music, mad drill music, and I've just been like, yo, this ain't bad. I fuck with it,
dude. This is what I can do. So I can overlook. And this is probably going to anger some people, but I can overlook. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I take it personal. Fuck them. But I can overlook bad lyrics if the beat's a banger. And I feel like a lot of people are the opposite. They can like ignore the beat and then go with the lyrics. And I feel something. You know what I feel? That beat making me fucking bump. Like so, I can overlook that and go and if there's a good beat, I'm a sucker for a good beat. And I listen to shit ton. I listen to all the different types of house music. A lot of them don't even have fucking words.
Yeah.
And I just like a good beat. It makes me bump. Keeps me feeling good. That's my goal.
And I completely agree with you because like a lot of this trap new music,
it appeals to the lizard brain sometimes. And I'm not ashamed to say it. Sometimes they get me.
The older I get, the less I care about lyrics.
I don't give a shit.
But I think it's like the older I get, I'm just like I'm just trying to enjoy it. I'm not trying to
for a good time.
I'm here for a good time and not for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's a really important thing. That's why I listen to a lot of Hove. And I think I also wanted to bring up, where were you born and raised actually?
So raised is a tricky question. Born, it's not tricky, but it requires explanation. I was born in South Florida. Born in Broward actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's weird. It's weird. Anyway, I was born there, and then I moved around. My father worked, traveled around. He's worked for the NFL, so we traveled around a lot. So I was born, and then we moved a shit ton in South Florida, and we went up to Jacksonville, lived there for a while, and then we went up north to Ohio, and then back down to Florida, and then I moved out, and then I lived up north, and I lived all over after I moved out and everything. I was just traveling for work. So I would say it was a mix of South Florida, Ohio, and then kind of, my family's in Jersey and New York, and a little bit there, that's kind of, everyone thinks I'm from New York. It's hilarious. I'm born in fucking Broward. Like, yeah, and I'm like, I know all the places you're talking about, and I've lived there, but not from New York.
From Broward.
Yeah, I'm from Broward County.
And you have a lot
305, baby.
And you love Biggie. And you love Biggie. 305.
Love Biggie.
Shout out to 305. And you're up in West Palm now. By the way, this place is in West Palm,
Yeah, you need a gun or some fire and come on through.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be.
Or flamethrower. We got flamethrowers.
Got fucking flamethrowers.
We got grenade launchers.
Where else can you get flamethrowers from such a great guy in West Palm Beach?
Use that term loosely.
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 But also what I was trying to say is, like, I was having this conversation with someone, I want to know your opinion. Do you think Pac was really as good as Biggie, or do you believe that Pac belongs in the conversation of an amazing rapper in the same sense as Biggie and so on and so forth? Because a lot of people are torn between that I speak to, that they don't really believe, that Tupac doesn't hit. Tupac's an amazing artist. He can paint pictures very well.
Yeah.
And all that. But Biggie was more of a rapper. And I'm not just saying that because I'm biased, because I'm from New York, but it's more of, when I listen to it, it's just Biggie's Biggie, man. There was no one that had his sound, and Tupac was great with he had a lot of art. He was able to make anything look, you could picture what he was saying, but it wasn't complicated. It was very simple at the time.
Yeah, happy-go-lucky.
Happy-go-lucky.
Very happy-go-lucky. So, God, it's hard. Okay. I get the question. I'm trying to answer it to the best of my ability, because again, like, this is not I'm not a hip-hop head like that, you know what I mean? Personally, I don't listen to Tupac ever. I'm not a huge fan, not because I don't think he's good. It's just not my vibe. Like, Biggie is my shit. I fucking love it. I jam it all the time.
Had it on here.
Yeah, had it on earlier. That was Ready to Die album. That's just, it gets me bumping. And it has nothing really to even just do about the beats. It's everything. The whole, the sound, the lyrics, everything. I can feel it. You know what I mean? He's a storyteller, and I can kind of understand it. I feel like I'm there, and I can get in the mood. Tupac just doesn't do it for me. I can't even tell you why. It doesn't. When he raps about like hard shit, I don't believe it. I know he's a tough guy, but also,
So, shout out to the Couch Podcast. I'll make sure I tag him on this. I was talking to the guy, because when I was up in New York, no one didn't see. I did a podcast up in Jersey. It was my first video podcast.
Yeah.
And it was a cool setup. Shout out to Bravery Studios out there.
Scotch Sweats.
Scotch Sweats. Just means you gotta drink more. So I was up there in Jersey, and Merv, good looks to Merv, who helped us out with everything. The guy who is part of the Couch Podcast, he hit me up. He's like, Pac wasn't really that tough. He wasn't really that much of a gangster.
I wouldn't know, because I'm not like a hip hop historian.
Yeah.
But I feel that's the one thing that will fucking just harpoon a rap song for me.
Yeah.
And so, like, perfect example. And look, I don't know the history, so I could be wrong. So somebody take it personally and tell me I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah. But like Lil Wayne. So Lil Wayne, great rapper. I will not take any, like, literally one of the best, and lyricist, everything, amazing beats. I know he doesn't make them all, but I'm just saying he's a talented artist. Yeah. And from what I understand, super cool guy. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. When you talk about doing tough shit, I gotta believe you.
Yeah.
And given I don't know his background, I don't know everything like that, but I don't fucking believe, the 4'11" fucking guy with dreads. It's that you don't seem tough to me. And there's so many rap songs out there that I listen to, and I just hear the guy that sounds like a whiny bitch, and I'm just kind of like, you ain't tough, get the fuck out of here. Like, stop.
It's funny that you
Maybe just because of my background, but it's more, it's just like, don't act tough, you ain't fucking tough.
I also think I remember when he used to drop all the mixtapes in the early 2000s, because that's like when he was like on top of the fucking world and everything.
I listened to it.
Yeah, it was amazing. He was top of the world in the 2000s. But I think maybe because of the time that it was a little bit different than it is now.
Yeah.
Because I think what makes a person hard or makes someone into that category, it's changed a lot. Like I was having a conversation with someone earlier. Like I was a troublemaker when I was younger, and I used to be out on the streets and doing all this shit. And I feel like when I went back to New York about 2 weeks ago, I felt so misplaced. And I think maybe it's because I'm older, and I feel like it's like I went back to the same environment. I'm just like, this doesn't feel the same.
How so?
A lot of.
Because now I go to New York, I'm a tourist. I'm just like, I'm there doing touristy shit.
And I'm from Staten Island, and I grew up there, and I went up there. I'm just like, this isn't like what I thought was cool and tough and all that stuff 7-8 years ago isn't like that anymore.
Can you give me an example?
I don't know how to explain it really, but like more of like I just can't explain it, but like it just how I felt when I was there was just, it didn't feel like how it used to. And I think maybe it's me, maybe it's because of like how much I've grown in my life, but like I just think of like Lil Wayne, how like at that time what he was rapping about was cool and tough at that time. And like at the time, and that was fucking 20.
I didn't fucking know any better. I was in high school.
It was 17 years ago.
Maybe
because I was in high school.
This is a little before adulthood, but
true.
It sounded hard.
It sounded hard.
And
I don't know. I just feel like since I came back, it's like it's not the same up there anymore. And like I go up there, and I feel like a tourist. I feel like a Floridian. Yeah. I don't even have that much of an accent unless you really piss me off.
I'm okay with being a Floridian.
I like being a Floridian.
It's funny when it's. I'm sure you can relate to this. Like people come into the cigar bar, bars, whatever it is. You're like, I'm from New York. I'm like, what? Is that supposed to like qualify you as being fucking hard? You don't even have guns there. Shut the fuck up. The people in Florida are way fucking harder than any of you motherfuckers. I don't hear it.
Florida people are crazy.
They're nuts.
They're crazy.
They're fucking nuts. They're nuts. I love it. But they're nuts. Don't tell me you're hard because you're from fucking New York. You're neutered over there. It's training wheels. Come to fucking Psycho, Florida. There's a reason Florida man's a thing. Like it's like let's relax. Like, I get it.
It's funny because
you've seen some shit, but you ain't seen Florida shit.
When I first came down there, I was like, I'm so fucking New York and da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yo, Florida's crazy. These motherfuckers are nuts.
Yeah.
And all my friends make fun of me. Like, it's like they send me all this Florida man shit. Because I'm Floridian now. I consider myself Floridian. I've been here for over 5 years.
Florida don't give a shit, bro.
And I love it.
Florida's the epitome of the United States. They accept everybody.
I don't think I would move anywhere else except for maybe Texas or like...
Even Texas now. It's too many California people living there now.
Just because I want to have the steak out there and it seems cool. I don't think I would move anywhere else.
No.
I love it here.
It's amazing here.
It's amazing.
I don't care what anybody says. It's the best state right now.
It's the best state.
Best state.
It's always nice out. It's the same season 24/7. You know what you're gonna expect every day when you go outside.
Yeah.
Like aside from like 2-3 weeks in the summer that's fucking disgustingly hot, which I think just passed.
I fucking hope so.
I hope it's gone.
It was brutal.
It was brutal the other day.
It was like either we're gonna be 110 or we're gonna rain all day.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a monsoon.
Or we're gonna be 70 for like 8% of the year.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's like the best part.
That's the best.
And it's like
California weather.
I love it
minus
down
the
here.
shitheads.
And like I was talking to the guy from Couch Podcast and he's like, oh, New York sucks, Jersey sucks. It's just a shithole now.
Of course it does.
And
hold on, I'm sorry, but has anyone really is that even an argument?
Growing up, it was different back in the 90s.
Yeah.
90s, 2000s was completely a different fucking world.
I get that.
Now it's just, it's a shithole. And it just sucks. And every time
you don't have any fucking rights there. That's the other thing. You gotta ask permission to do everything. Everything.
And I feel like when I go there, everyone's depressed.
I don't blame them. I don't fucking blame them. That's why they're coming here in droves, bro. That's why everyone's coming over here. I don't blame them. Come by. When I was looking for this warehouse space, right? You could not. I looked for 6 months. I couldn't find a fucking spot that not only had like a warehouse in the back, but also air conditioning area in the front, like just a place for a business, because everyone's moving their businesses to Florida. Everybody. And all the trades are killing it, especially during COVID.
Yeah.
So there was no vacancies. Everyone's coming down here. I don't blame them. I would too.
Yeah, and it's.
That's why I keep coming back. I have plenty of opportunity. I have businesses out of state.
Yeah,
multiple businesses out of state.
Gino actually has a cool cigar bar in Alabama. I'm gonna make sure I tag that in there as well as everything else.
Appreciate it. If you're ever in North Alabama, stop by Sip Cigars and Lounge. It's an awesome spot.
It looks really
chill as fuck.
I saw the pictures. Remember when you set everything up? It looks fucking.
110-year-old building. We restored that whole thing.
Really, 110 years old.
110 years old. was a fucking nightmare to get that one set up. And
did you need
we
papers when you purchased it or anything like that? Was there any like qualifications because it was like over 100 years old?
Not really. It was
It's
just
Alabama.
funny.
So.
Well, yeah, it was a situation. Luckily, it wasn't one of those things where it was like, hey, this is part of the historic district, so you have to do these certain things. We got away with a lot because it was old. So like, our stairs in the back are not ADA approved. Yeah. So like our downstairs is all wheelchair accessible. Our upstairs area, since it's a private lounge, we didn't have to do anything, which is great
really
because
cool.
that would cost a fucking $1 million.
That would, damn. But it's dope. That's a nice spot. I'm definitely gonna I'm gonna set up having that on there as well. And I think it's like really cool, man. I really like enjoy hanging out here. This is like really fucking cool. This is like a dope setup. I need something like this.
You do. It's worth every penny.
It definitely is. I would never go home. Do you have a bed in the back?
I don't.
You
So
definitely get a blow-up mattress.
I have a couch. So there's a couch in the lounge. I've crashed on that couch many times. And it wasn't because I was like, I'm having a lot of fun. I was fucking working and I was like, I'm not driving home. But one day we'll do that. See, above this ceiling is another like 20 feet for the warehouse in this little finished area. I want to figure out something. I want to do a second floor, but we gotta do a little better for that one to happen. That's an expensive little add-on.
Yeah, but I think it'll be really dope. You have a great, you had an idea, you came through, you pushed it, and you were focused on it, and you got it done. I think that's a beautiful thing. A lot of people don't do that, and I think like another thing I was talking to when I was talking to somebody about, it's like being focused. Being able to say, I want to fucking do this, and I'm gonna fucking do it. And I was listening to this guy, Ryan Stewman. He does a bunch. He put out a book called G Code that I actually was reading and stuff.
G Code, okay.
It's actually it was really interesting.
Gangster code?
No, it's just like G Code. I forgot what the G stands for. And a friend of mine, Coy, who got me into his Facebook group, got me into it. And what he talks about is how every human being has 7,000 to 10,000 distractions a day. And if you really think about it, the different distractions from your phone,
that's pretty accurate.
The ads, all that other shit that you see every single day.
Oh my God, yeah, you're counting all the little bullshit. Yeah, absolutely.
You're counting everything.
Absolutely.
You see, every human sees 7,000 to 10,000 distractions a day.
Yeah, I have severe ADHD, so it's like multiplied.
It's like times
it's fucking brutal.
But like I think with that, like I think a lot of people get distracted, and I think that
I get distracted every day.
Yeah, and I think with
all day
taking that example is like, how distracted am I from being successful? What does successful look like? And like, how can I get past a lot of fears and be able to focus more on life and focus more on my goals and stuff like that? Because that's a big roadblock for a lot of people. Like even before I did this, like it was so hard for me. Like I've been wanting to do this for like 3 years. And it was just like, maybe like, it's like, I played with the idea so long over and over again, like dreaming and dreaming and dreaming.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna go and I literally went on a limb. I bought the cheapest fucking equipment, just to be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Gives a shit, you learn, so you fucking learn.
Yeah, and I just did it, and I set everything up, and every time you do what you love, and you enjoy doing it, and you get to create something, it brings you so much joy.
100%.
And I think if you want to play off on that as well, like how taking away all your imagination, all your fear and your distractions, and focus more on your goal and what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so like I've been my own boss now for a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
That's a big fucking accomplishment. A lot of people, it's an accomplishment.
So I think the past maybe 7 or 8 years, right? I think there's a huge wave of like entrepreneurial, like this is great, you got to be your own boss. You don't have to fucking be your own boss. I mean, there's a lot of people that are really awesome employees and make a killing, fucking killing, and they have zero stress. Well, not zero, but way less stress than the boss, the be your own boss guy does, because it's it's someone else's problem. Have results, sell shit, whatever it is. I mean, the only reason I'm my own. There's one reason I'm my own boss, and I'm sure people know what I'm about to say. I'm the fucking worst employee in the world. I'm the worst employee in the fucking world. That's why I got into contracting, because I can't be a fucking regular employee. It's a problem. I'd like to have the ability to be like, fuck you, I'm not doing this, I'm out. I can't do it. I need to be on my own schedule. I never really, I didn't learn well in school, traditionally. I was kind of a shithead in school. But it's the whole, having your own business and stuff like that, I love it because it works for me.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason why I'm doing it is because it works for me.
And
I couldn't do.
everybody.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I didn't have my own business, I would be on the streets. I'd just get fired every 6 months. I'll do great for like 2 months, and then I'll be the worst fucking guy in the world, Like, this guy sucks. He did great for like 2 months, what happened? And then he just started telling everyone to go fuck themselves and just, slacked off. I hate not doing stuff for myself. Because a lot of people are like, oh, it's very redeeming, having your own business. And yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I think it just... that's a good word for it, but I think more of it is just kind of like, it lessens the blow of the stress.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have, having your own, your own thing and you're being your own boss is the most stressful fucking thing in the world. I'm literally working 24/7.
Yeah.
There's not a time where I'm not fucking working. Even if I'm hanging out or something, I got responsibilities. I got employees I got to pay.
Mm-hmm.
My business doesn't do well. I got families that rely on my business doing well. So it's a lot of stuff. But when you do, I wouldn't even say am successful. When you're able to make ends meet and have the business work and you're not fucking struggling too much, those wins, those little wins, are way bigger. When you're doing stuff for someone else, the wins are good. You're still winning. So I'm not taking anything away from that. But when you're doing it for yourself and you're kind of keeping a little extra and you're just kind of going, I fucking did that. No help. Or I did get help, but I paid him. It's a little bit more. It feels a little better.
You gotta pay to play.
You gotta pay to play. That's
And the thing is, like,
gotta pay to fucking play.
Like this whole, like how you're saying, big idea of the last couple of years. Anytime I'm on YouTube and like a motivational speaker comes on, it's like you gotta work for yourself. And
I fucking hate motivational speakers.
The only person I like is Jordan Peterson, maybe a few other people.
Oh, I love Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson.
I don't think he's a motivational speaker.
But he's not really. I think he's more of a professor. I think he's more.
Yeah, he's an educator.
He's an educator.
I love him.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a fucking champ.
Great.
I want to say that he's an international treasure.
Yeah, he is.
Wonderful human being.
One of a kind. And I think the idea, like everyone thinking that they can go and be their own boss. A lot of people can't do that. It's not easy.
Most people can't do that.
Most people can't do that. And to say that you can be a person, I think it takes a certain person to be able to take that kind of responsibility. And,
absolutely.
And it's a lot of information,
And we got to make sure we can't take away from someone who can't. Not being able to do that is not at all. It's something that's like bad.
It's not bad.
People. What bothers the fuck out of me is a lot of these motivational speakers are like, you don't need to be working for the man, blah blah blah. You need to go out and you can make way more doing on your own, and it's way better. Who the fuck wants to work for somebody? What the fuck is wrong with working for somebody? That's ridiculous. And that's so ridiculous. Some people can't fucking do that, and it's not because they're less. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right.
Some people don't want to have to deal with the fucking stress.
If people don't want to deal with something.
No.
I have a friend that actually works. He makes a certain amount of money every week. He's like, he said this to me, and at first it didn't make sense because like I've had this old mentality of like trying to succeed, thinking I need to have my own thing and da da da.
Yeah.
And he says like I'd rather make $2,000 a week, $1,500 a week, and not have any stress. And then
that's fucking awesome. And if I could do that, I would do it. I can't. That's the problem.
You can't.
I'm fucking retarded. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason I ain't doing it.
Yeah, and I think that even if you are an employee, as long as you're hardworking and you're happy and you go home and you have no
provide
stress,
value. You get paid for your fucking time. You get paid for your shit. You don't have to worry about nonsense. They fucking pay. You get insurance. Like there's so many benefits to working for a good company. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And I hate these fucking motivational speakers selling pipe dreams to people.
Yeah.
And just sitting and making it seem like it's they demonizing it.
So much money. And they get paid so much fucking money.
Oh, it's a scam. It's 90% of it's a scam.
90% of it is.
I love watching these motivational speakers sit there and I'm just like kind of picking up on like clues. I'm looking at them like, oh yeah, that's rented. That's like oh, nice fake watch. Like like little shits. Like I see you're fucking sitting there, charlatans. Fuck it. Anyways.
No.
Yeah, I don't even want to go on that fucking thing. That makes me entrepreneurs. That's what I want. Entrepreneurs.
Want to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And I think also what's interesting is with the focus to bring it back to like focus on like being able to be okay with yourself, not take yourself too serious, and like focus on the more important things. Because money's great, money's fucking important. We need money to fucking survive at this time.
Absolutely. I hate when people say that. You don't need any money to be happy. You're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
I mean, you go live somewhere else. There's a lot of places you could go where money does not matter.
But America's the greatest country in the world.
100%.
I'm Albanian. My parents from a third world communist country. I'm like my dad tells me how he fucking walked a goat up a mountain, and I'm like, would I really, with how like fucking good I had it growing up, Like, would I really walk the goat up a fucking mountain? No, I would not.
You walk through the wrong mountain valley, someone might fucking cut your head off.
Exactly.
You don't have to worry about that here.
No.
You have maybe like some guy asking for money.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's about it, and I'll give him $2.
Yeah,
but
like,
like,
a couple dollars is like, yeah, fuck off. Like, whatever you do.
But I think a big thing also is like focusing on more important things, on better values, better things to focus on, not take and take away from this idea that like you have to kill yourself to make money and thinking that money is the root of everything, when it is a big part of the pie. It's a big part of the pie. But there's so many other pieces people miss that come along with the happiness and with security and with the peace of mind.
Yeah, I think the money comes from, if you just focus on the money, that's the worst thing. You can't do that.
I think it's a distraction because, especially in South Florida, if you go a little bit more south, you see a lot of, the...
It's here.
It's here in West Palm also.
It's all about fucking Jupiter. Yeah. From Jupiter down.
Yeah.
It's keeping up with the Joneses, and that shit fucks you up.
It fucks you up
big time. It fucked me up.
I did that when I first came down.
Same.
I was trying to be a fucking cool guy, not I spent money. I'm like, you know what?
Dude,
I don't give a fuck. I have a brand new truck that's a brand new Chevy, and I'm like, I love it.
By the way, that's a nice truck. It's a really nice truck. I saw that come up, and I was like, whose truck is that?
I appreciate it. I love it. It's not anything crazy. It's a brand new truck, but it gets me everywhere. It's comfortable. I'm happy with it. It's not broken. It's not cheap. It's not. You know what I mean? It's a great truck.
Yeah.
I love your Benz.
Thank you.
I love your 300 diesel Benz. I
drive an 85 Benz.
It's so fucking cool. I want to get an old one. My dream car is a 190E.
Really?
2.3, 16 valves. So I used to play Gran Turismo when I was younger.
I know.
My brother would always pick the M3, and I would pick the 190E.
Yeah.
And I would always race his 190E, and I'd always beat him.
Just wipe the floor with him.
Yeah, and I loved it. And I grew up in Mercedes. I'm Albanian.
You gotta do it.
If anyone doesn't know, it's a cool fun fact. 90% of the cars in Albania are stolen.
Yeah.
And they're Mercedes.
They're Mercedes.
And they're all stolen.
A lot of them are diesel. Those are turbo diesel. And by the way, one of the most popular taxis. That's Mercedes sitting outside.
Exactly. And
the 123 chassis, W123 chassis.
And they're still running.
And they're still running. You know, they have them in the Mercedes museum. $1,000,000 engine without a rebuild. What the fuck? Yeah, I know.
And they don't make them like they...
No, they don't. That's why I like the old cars, man.
I love it.
Old cars, old motorcycles. That's what I haven't had a new vehicle for 8 years.
Yeah. So
all my shit's old as fuck.
You're also big into cars also.
Yes, 4x4s.
4x4s. Oh, so
specifically, I have very limited. Like people know I'm like a car guy. Like I know everything there is to know about those turbo diesel Mercedes. Any of the old.
How long have you had that car for?
That one's 2 years, but I've had 5 of them.
Yeah, 5.
So, and then not because they broke, just because I got a good deal. I sold them, and then I bought a nicer one. I do that. I also Land Rover Defenders. Had those.
That's dope.
A couple of those. I love old Defenders. We import them, by the way. Integrated Steels Group.
Oh yeah.
We have ISG Overland, and we have a shop in Southampton, UK.
Huh.
And we buy them over there, agricultural vehicles.
Yeah.
We get them. They're all beat up. We completely strip them, rebuild them, and we import them here.
That's fucking dope.
So the Land Rover Defenders. That's another vehicle. It's a right-hand drive, turbo diesel, stick shift.
My brother's a big 4Runner guy. He loves 4Runner. He loves Yodas. He
Yep.
loves the Yodas. He loves his Toyotas.
Land
Cruiser.
We've raced those things. We've done 4x4 races with them, ISG. We've done the right-hand drive. Hold on, sorry, been a long day.
Let everybody know it's like 9 o'clock at night.
I mean, the night is young for me, but it's been I got like 2 hours of sleep tonight. Last night it wasn't good, but older cars, I love them. I think it's great. I like being able to. That's the other thing. I like being able to work on my own stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not hard.
No.
I'm fucking retarded. I don't want to deal with like 3 million computers and all that shit.
Yeah.
It's simple. And I like serviceable parts. I hate when something's broken. I gotta throw it away and buy a new one. How about let's fix that thing? You know.
100% agree with you.
That's what I like.
I think that's really important, and I think people always want to go into debt trying to keep up with Joneses and buy like a brand new car. And
I was there, dude. I get it. I know, but you just gotta fucking try to get out of that shit. It's the worst.
That's why, like, I got my truck with $0 down,
and
I was like, I need a new truck. I got a house. I got like things like I thought at the time, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I was like, I have a house. I need a pickup truck. And now I'm learning, I don't really fucking need it. I don't really use it that much. And like, I'm probably gonna look at something else that's gonna be older and more used and more useful. Because I always had this mentality growing up, like the better car you had, the hotter girl you had. And down here, that might work.
No, that definitely works, and I won't take that away. But the real ones, no.
Yeah.
It's way cooler to be. So it's cool to pull up in a brand new Mercedes, like a fucking nice AMG, and dressed in the 9s. You got your Hermes shit belt on. You got your fucking Ferragamo shoes. You got your I don't know, Page jeans. I'm just naming designer shit. It's actually way cooler to pull up in a fucking kind of, regular car, some jeans and t-shirt, but got it more than that fucking guy.
100%.
And the funny, people, real ones know. They figure it out after. It takes a little bit. Let's say you weed out shitheads. You get rid of the topical fucking people. I hate that shit. It's like, show off when you got it. Go for it. If it makes you happy, go for it.
What makes you happy?
What was that?
Whatever makes you happy.
Exactly. Whatever makes you happy, go for it. But real ones know.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's easy to spot that. You're able to spot what's fake and what's real.
And you learn real quick down here.
Down here a lot. And
100%.
And I've learned that being more focused on not looking at those people and comparing myself to those people. Because I'm 29 years old. I'm not going to compare myself to a 60-year-old guy or 50-year-old guy that has a fucking $200,000 car. I'm 30 fucking years old.
Different era too. Different era. A lot easier to make money. Sorry, got to throw it out there.
It's so hard to make money today.
It is not easy.
Not easy.
You could have a lot of really good ideas. Probably 10 people had that great idea already.
100%. And the thing is, you
Tough.
have to be very fucking original.
You do. You have to find your niche. You have to find your niche.
Find your niche and what makes you happy. It makes you like. Now I work a job that I go to and I enjoy it, but I still haven't found my niche. Aside from this, one day hopefully I'll become a millionaire. Next Joe Rogan, next fucking whatever. That'll be fucking amazing. But I think it's really cool to get involved and do something on the side from what you're working at. Whatever you're doing as a normal job, make sure you have a hobby. Make sure you have something that you can get into, that you can learn from and grow from and express yourself.
Make that hobby something that might also become something you could have as a mainstay later too.
Yeah.
A lot of people have these hobbies. Hey, look, hobbies are really important, and doing what you enjoy is obviously the most important thing. But you can also find hobbies that make you money. Exactly. You also find hobbies that build you up, or at least build up your resume or your experience, your knowledge base, and something like that. And then you could do that on the side for a little while, and then now, hey, you're an expert. You've done it for so long, you could start charging for your time on that. Yeah. That might be your new job.
And doing the thing that you love for a short time, and even for a year or two, and really getting into it and learning about yourself and learning how you can better yourself doing the thing that you love, but also being able to, from my experience, I hear from a lot of people is they do what they love for a short time. They don't get paid. They just bust their ass and they do it because they love it, and it pays off in the end.
100%.
It always does.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, God makes it fucking work.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a beautiful thing in chasing dreams and staying focused on what you want to do, and getting away from distractions.
I can't get away from distractions. I don't even tell people to try to get away from distractions. I really don't, because it depends. Obviously, a lot of people can compartmentalize and ignore things and stuff. I fucking can't. I'm just a sponge of stimuli.
You are.
Anything around me, I'm just kind of like
you are the most interesting man I've ever met.
I don't know. I've heard a lot more than that. Mostly the most frustrating, whatever, But distractions suck, and they're the worst. I get them every fucking day.
Yeah.
There's 10 things I should have done today I didn't fucking do.
Yeah.
But just keep the end goal in mind. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Freeing yourself from distractions is definitely the best thing to do, if you can do it.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't do it. I can't do it. So I just I find a way to manage and just keep that that end goal in mind and say, all right, I may not get everything done today, but I'm gonna get it done here and there, and just do it at my speed and not overwhelm myself, and make sure I can do everything. I whole ass things at a time, not half ass everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing I think also is making sure that you have goals and accomplishments for the day. Even if it's small accomplishments.
Small shit,
and they add up.
What? Jordan Peterson.
Here we go.
Make your bed.
Make your bed in the morning. It's such a big deal.
I don't make my bed. So, first off, I love what he said, and then I actually saw a speech done by this Navy Admiral McRaven. I'm not a political person because some people hate him, but either way,
we don't talk about politics on here.
I don't even. I just flying fuck it. Anyways,
it's such a big fucking deal.
He also says that too, but that I love that concept, the make your bed thing.
Yeah.
I think it can be done many other I don't make my fucking bed. I don't have I don't sleep under the sheets. I just lay on my bed. I get hot. So but little wins throughout the day are the most important. And you don't even have to schedule them.
No, they just happen.
They just happen. Little fucking wins, a green light, of that light that you always fucking hit on the way to work, and you're just sitting there and you make, all right, today's gonna be good.
Appreciate that.
You gotta appreciate that stuff, because shit sucks all the time. Life sucks and you die, so you gotta sit there and you gotta get those little wins and stack them up, because I'm telling you, if you find the little happy things, There's way more of those than bullshit.
100%.
Even if life sucks, there's always little fucking wins you can do.
And I remember I heard a guy say once, he said, I never had a bad day. And I was like, that doesn't fucking... But then after he said, I was like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, I was like, well...
But then he said, well,
Substantiate, sir.
my perspective today is that, like, anything that happened in my life, what my perception is to the situation is what deals with everything. And my perception today is that I had to go through the things I had to go through to be where I am today. I had to go through the things to be able to grow and change and be the person I'm meant to be.
Make everything a learning experience. It can be the worst experience of your life, but you learn from it, and also even more so, character is built through adversity a lot of the times, you know, and also, like we were talking earlier, like being hard and shit like that. That's from adversity. You need to have some losses. You need to have some fucking, you know, some knocks, and get yourself up. And they do suck, you know. So that's a nice outlook. I like that.
Yeah, and anytime
I support it.
Anytime I hear about any like these fucking motivational speakers, like, oh yeah, I went through all these failures. The only common thing I hear that I can agree with, that I follow, would be that I have to fail to succeed. I have to go through change. I have to go through this, and that, like, when I failed, like, you know, it's okay. I fucked up. What can I learn from this? What can I do different than this?
This business failed twice before I actually started, you know, doing well. 100%. I did well my first part of the business. Didn't have any. I never went to college. I didn't step foot in a fucking college campus.
Yeah.
I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know you had to pay sales tax. There's a lot of shit I didn't know. I went to this business thing and I started doing the thing I knew. It was hustling.
Yeah.
It was hustling. I was making money. Fuck yeah. Doing the South Florida thing, partying, doing all that shit. And, you know, I kind of forgot about all the other business administrative things that I should have been doing. Lose real quick on that one. You know, so you have to fucking learn through failure. Honestly, I think the most successful people in the world have learned via just absolutely getting their shit mixed over and over and over and over again, because
to be beat down.
You become resilient. You learn so much. You know, and you get a really good thick skin. Yeah. And you have to run a business, or even just to be at a high level of working for a business.
Yeah.
You have to be able to just know this might fail miserably. This might end up in absolute flames.
And you're going to be okay after, still, no matter what.
You're going to be okay.
No matter what.
You're going to be okay. Yeah.
And there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
You live in America. You're going to be great. Our homeless people are fucking kings compared to a lot of other places.
And a lot of homeless people rather be homeless than actually have lives.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Well, we're in South Florida, so we're a little jaded because literally 99% of them are scam artists, so I don't feel bad for them, but
at the same
I'm jaded.
I know a lot of homeless people that, like, rather live that kind of lifestyle.
Go for it.
And they're happy.
You do you.
Like, I have friends who've been to jail, and they're like, I'd rather be in jail than be in the other
That's
side.
where all my friends are.
Yeah. But, like, it's just like that mentality. It's back to another good point that we can talk about quick. Is like this idea of growing up and this mentality that we have growing up, these old ideas that we grew up with, change over time. And we hold on to them, and I think it stops us from growing and changing and being the person that we can be, because these old ideas that we have growing up and doing things takes away from the ability to grow and change.
Yeah, you gotta find your own way, man.
Yeah, you got to find your own way. Just do what you gotta fucking do.
Yeah, everybody learns and grows differently, and you just have to find your path and just try to make the best of it. Make it work.
I think this is so fucking cool. This is when I first started the podcast. The first thing I said is like, I want to record with fucking cigars and hang out. And like, this is so fucking cool. And like, this is like an awesome conversation that I always wanted to have. And I think you got me a cigar, which is really cool. Davidoff Double R.
Yeah.
I can't smoke this.
It's a great cigar.
Yes.
So it's not too light, but it's not too heavy. You know, you can kind of pair it with everything. It's nice.
Nice. I'm definitely gonna smoke this weekend.
Yeah.
I think this would be a good thing. Maybe I'll see this weekend. You know, at the cigar bar.
You could come here.
I'll come here. I'm actually gonna come here this weekend. I think I'm gonna be recording another podcast on tomorrow with my friend Tammy, who yells at me about relationships. She's apparently a relationship expert. Shout out Tammy, I love you. And it's just like, this is something that's like really cool, you know. And I'm so happy that I was able to come out here, hang out with you,
you're always welcome,
and have this conversation. And like, anything else you want to leave with the people? I know if you ever need a fucking gun, you better come here. If there's anywhere else, fuck every other place in West Palm Beach.
No. There's a lot of really good places, and we're in the gunshine state, so there's a lot of places to go and get what you need. But yeah, I mean, I'm leaving with that. No.
What else do you do here aside from selling guns? I know you do a couple other things here as well.
Well, this is more. We do a lot of administrative stuff for my business that no one's gonna benefit from if I talk about it. But if someone does need a firearm, hit us up. Centurion Partners Group, Centurion Armament Co.
Mhm.
That's us here.
Yeah.
And we supply firearms. We do training too. So at any level, so you can be a secret squirrel Delta Force operator, and you want to get better, we'll help. We'll take care of you. You can be just you never bought a gun before, or you want to learn how to defend yourself, or what what's the best option for you. We'll take care of that. We do suppressors. We're a Class 3 dealer. We do everything when it comes to that. So. We can take care of that. That's what we do here. And we hang out and smoke cigars and listen to good music. So you're welcome to do that and hang out with us too.
We like a good
time.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Have fun.
Thank you so much, Gino. I really fucking appreciate
Pleasure's
it.
all mine.
This is awesome. I'm happy that you invited me out here. And thank you everyone who's been listening. Please subscribe.
You gotta slap that like button.
Slap that like button and the bell.
And the bell for notifications, right?
Better fucking click the bell.
I need to do that on my thing.
and like another thing also, which is cool, is like what I want to do with this, if someone's been watching the whole fucking time, is really get to know other people and give people a voice and somewhere they can come on and showcase what they love to do.
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. It's fun, and it's a beautiful thing to let people know each other. Because I think in a world that we live in, which is very internet-based, it's very isolated today. A lot of people isolate. Everyone stays.
Not many people have these kind of discussions, but everyone enjoys them.
And that's why
everyone enjoys them, but not many people have this discussion. That's why a lot of people, I think, listen to podcasts. They want to have people that like a host as yourself who's very verbose and cannot. You do. We have not had one dead point. You guys really, you got a killer host here, because like there's a lot of times where I stopped and kind of was waiting for his lead, and it was just boom, boom. Like it's you can carry on a conversation. There's no dead spots, and it's just running. And it's entertaining. You learn from it, and it's just. You get to learn. Also, other thing, you get to talk to people and learn other people's failures, so you can avoid them.
Yeah, and
that's
you can learn
the most
something
important
from
thing.
it. Yeah. And I think what's also cool is like a lot of people don't sit down and talk anymore.
No.
And I can go to Starbucks, or I can go anywhere, and like I'll walk in, people don't even want to talk to you.
Well, they're too busy fucking like selling Monet products on their phone and shit. That's the entrepreneur shit I fucking hate. If your office is Starbucks, fuck off. Sorry. You can do it from home. You don't need to go to Starbucks. I'm going to get a fucking coffee. I actually don't go there, but I'm just saying, go to those places.
Unless you're in college, you shouldn't be hanging out at Starbucks.
Just go get your shit, eat it, or fucking leave. Don't sit there with a fucking headset and I gotta listen to your fucking sales pitch about selling mattresses or something. It's like, bro, stop it. Stop.
I love it.
Yeah, then I get fucking solicited with all the talking in the background. John, your coffee's ready. Get out of here.
I love that.
Sorry. That was a little, all right, it was a little hard.
Take it personal.
Yeah.
This is great. But again, Gino, thank you so much for having me. Thanks for having the Take It Personal show. And again, anyone, please, I'm gonna throw everything in the links in the bio. So definitely check his podcast out. You guys have a podcast also. I'll make sure I throw the SoundCloud link in there as well for you guys.
It's on the website.
It's on the website.
Yeah, just integratedskillsgroup.com.
Perfect.
And centurionpartnersgroup.com.
Yeah. Perfect.
Both groups. We're a group of people. Teamwork makes the dream work. It ain't all about you. Right? Don't be selfish.
Don't be selfish.
Yeah, this is
be selfless. And
I like that.
Be selfless. Don't be selfish. And be there for other people and have empathy and know that it's important to be grateful and fortunate for the lives that we have today and what we have here. And it's a beautiful thing. Like life's fucking good, and it's
life's good.
I never had it so fucking good. I never thought that I could be so. It took a long time. We're gonna wrap it up. To end on this note, on a beautiful note, on a happy note.
Yeah.
That life is really good when you're sitting drinking scotch, smoking a cigar, hanging out in a beautiful lounge, gun store, just hanging out, talking the shit, and this is what life is about. Not being alone, having people that you love and care about around you, and and living free and being able to just interact.
I like the living free part a lot.
Living free, and it's
I'm so lucky to live in this country. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
I've traveled the world to pretty much everywhere you don't ever want to go. People are like, oh, you get to travel all the time. It must be amazing. I'm like, no. I mean, yeah, no. We have it fucking amazing here, and it's great, and I couldn't be more thankful.
No,
I hit the lottery fucking coming here.
100%.
Incredible.
And I think it's also to be grateful and fortunate and know that you have any opportunity in the world here.
Absolutely, you really do.
It's a great thing. So again, thank you everyone for watching, hanging out with us. Again, Gino, one last time, thank you so much for having us. And anyone that's listening, please hang out, relax, take it easy. You know, what I like to do at the end of every show is have a nice song to play out to, something good, everyone can relax. If you're cheating on your girlfriend, hanging out with your ex-girlfriend, hanging out with your best friend's girlfriend, we don't do that.
No.
I don't do that. But
I'm just saying I don't judge.
I don't judge.
Do whatever the fuck you want.
Do
I don't
whatever
care.
you want.
You're living
If you're fighting with your family, shit ain't going right, you're stressed out, just sit back, relax, take it fucking easy.
Have a cigar.
Have a fucking
Shoot
cigar.
the shit. Talk to your friends.
Talk to your friends.
Meet someone you don't know. Make them your friend.
Meet someone you don't know
Don't
and
make them.
your
Don't force them.
Don't force
Consent.
them. Just go say hi to somebody.
Yeah.
Do something different. Be open. You know, go out there and have a good time and live free. Know that, you know what, we live in a beautiful world and everything's okay no matter what. So again, lastly, everyone have a wonderful night.